lot of people think that my art is dark. And the truth is that I am a very dark person. Like most people, I've experienced trauma. So I think that the universality of knowing that everybody has experienced hardships and pain is what made it okay for me to make the art that I make. The art made itself. I didn't consciously go, you know what? I'm gonna make this about blah, blah, blah. Instead, I just made it. I very much believe in creating from the subconscious mind. I sometimes did not even catch my own drift of where I was going for a little bit. But most people that look at my work maybe read into it that I'm not a real happy, joy type of person. I'm very reality-based. Glass is just half. It is neither full nor empty. It is. And then I take it from there. I don't worry too much about the audience. I think that's a big part of it. You can't care too much. I don't necessarily cater to anybody other than myself. That could change if there's a show coming up and I'm showing with my students and the theme is bunny rabbits, then I can make a piece that's a bunny rabbit because I'm an artist and I fully trust in my own abilities. However, I think about 3% of the population would even stop to figure out my art. There's Morse code all throughout every piece. Sometimes there are double ciphers. That kind of art, it's made for me and then for anybody that wants to bother to look at it. I think as an artist, you cannot be too preoccupied with your audience. Your agenda is whatever your agenda is. My agenda is very personal, but I can cater to anything that I need to cater to. I don't want to make it sound like anybody's agenda is better or deeper or more valid than anyone else's. It is simply theirs. It depends on the work. I have more freedom if I'm painting. I generally am always producing something. I'll go to concerts on campus and I'll just do gestural studies of everybody's work. All those studies, that's kind of to keep my eye going and fresh. But sometimes there's just something. There was a piece that I did for a faculty show, I think 6 years ago. I had found out that somebody I went to high school with been put to death by the Texas penal system. So he was in prison for murder. I found out about it and I knew the guy when I was young, from elementary school, middle school. He had always been bullied. To say it was different then is not lending any weight to it. I will say that I was on my own path making art and riding horses at the time, and I knew him and I knew that people were not nice to him, but I'm not sure I did anything about it when I was 8 to 16. When I found out he'd been executed and I even found out his last meal, that spurred an entire study, a piece where I made a large kimono of pencil and I made an installation / performance piece all about what happens when you don't say something. Own up to what you say and understand that even if you don't say anything, when you had a chance to write something, you need to. Silence makes as much of a difference as actually being vocal makes. That one piece of me making this giant kimono jacket over the course of a week, marking the floor, which was covered in paper, all had to do with that everything makes a mark. Everything you say, your actions, and your inactions can leave a mark.